Topping today's news, the long-awaited medical marijuana legislation introduced in Parliament. Dr. Dalva says despite some opposition, the town hall meeting went well as it relates to the new hospital and police investigating a murder on Grand Bahama. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jarino Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News. It's a pleasure to have you join us. The long-awaited legislative package to legalize marijuana for medical, religious, and research purposes was laid today in the House of Assembly by Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Michael Dalvo, who said this about the process that went into forming the new legislation.
The introduction of the medical cannabis bills come from a place of listening, a response to the cries of those who have been waiting for years for unanswered questions. We have consulted widely, engaging with experts and community leaders to ensure our approach is balanced and informed. The Rastafarian community, the medical professionals, law enforcement, religious groups have all proven or provided invaluable insights that have helped to shape this bill that I am presenting today.
Dr. Dalvo then took a moment to outline some of the specifics of the compendium of bills and how they are intended to work.
The centerpiece of this legislative package, the Cannabis Bill 2024, is designed to introduce a control system of cannabis use in medical treatments. The bill establishes the Bahamas Cannabis Authority, a regulatory body overseeing all aspects of cannabis management and cultivation and distribution. The authority's mandate is to ensure that cannabis production and use are safe, controlled, and effectively integrated into our healthcare system. Accompanying this is also the Dangerous Drug Amendment Bill, which reclassifies cannabis by removing it from the dangerous drug list and recognizing its potential for medical use. This change aligns our nation's laws with evolving global perspectives on cannabis, acknowledging its medical value based on current scientific evidence.
Dr. Dalvo said the bill includes protocols for individuals who seek to violate the laws and will also modify existing laws to incorporate medical use of cannabis, which is a critical part of the legislation. He said when the bills are debated, he will seek the support from both sides of the aisle. The Ministry of Health has begun a public consultation for the construction of the proposed $291 million hospital off New Providence Highway. Stapleton, Dolphin Drive, and West Grove residents were vocal about their concerns during last night's town hall meeting. But this morning, Health Minister Dr. Michael Dalva says the meeting went well and that the ministry is prepared to handle community concerns.
You're going to always have people for and against the facility. We have done some preliminary viewing in the area. Many in the area are for it, some are against it. And so last night, the residents had an opportunity to voice their concerns. It is categorized almost in 4 points: noise pollution, whether the hospital would impact their price of their property, speaking about the construction aspect of it, and the traffic, and the noises associated with EMT vehicles. These are normal questions and reasonable questions by the residents. We are taking all the questions, we're analyzing them.
Dr. Dalvo says despite concerns, the ministry is unable to find a new location, citing limited space on New Providence and the project's fast approaching deadlines.
Well, we have looked at 4 to 5 locations, and the more you look at the locations, the more you realize that anywhere you go close to any neighborhood, there will always be concerns. The ministry has done a tremendous amount of work, and we have finally gotten concession loan funding. The concession loan funding is not going to stay around forever. It's either we move on it, money goes elsewhere. They don't wait for no one, and so we have to go and continue the consultation, and we're looking forward for the town hall meeting with the Ministry of Environment to address many of the concerns that were outlined last night.
Dr. Dowell says the other locations that were considered are either too small or are natural hazards. The new specialty hospital will be located just west of the New Providence Highway in the area of Papaul Track. While government members applauded the Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Michael Dowell, for the announcement of the new $291 million hospital, the specialty hospital, former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis says he does not support the idea, and he explained why.
I continue to be alarmed by the statements that come from the government on the so-called specialty hospital they plan to build here in New Providence. This is the wrong project, in the wrong place, with the wrong price, the wrong financing, and the wrong workers. We know how much land is being sold to this company in Abaco. We know exactly how much land, 1.35 acres, is being sold to the company in Abaco. We know the company it is being sold to. We know the cost. There are so many things we don't know about the Chinese hospital that is going to be built in a heavily residential neighborhood in New Providence.
Dr. Minnis expressed concerns about flooding and traffic congestion in the proposed area for the new hospital. As for the town hall meetings, Dr. Minnis says they are too late. He explained why.
You are not known for consulting. They are now trying to have so-called consultations on this project after they already made so many decisions we know nothing about. People shouldn't be confused, not me. The town hall meetings they are proposing are nothing but a public relations exercise after the fact. The big decisions have already been made. I call on the Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, to fully disclose all that has been agreed with the Chinese thus far.
Despite his concerns and objections, Dr. Dowell asked for former Prime Minister Minnis to support the new specialty hospital for women and children, noting that it would help establish the telemedicine idea that the Minnis administration actually introduced, and because it will also house a large morgue facility in the event of another catastrophic event. Just 3 hours after police informed around 7 a.m. this morning that there were no major crimes to report from overnight, the country suffered its 50th murder just hours later. Police on Grand Bahama were called to the scene of a homicide on Midshipman Road in Freeport. Police are early into their investigations and are expected to reveal more details in a later report. This incident follows the disturbing murders on the weekend that claimed the life of 2 teenage boys believed to be involved with gang activity. And finally, in this segment from the courts, on Monday, Magistrate Samuel McKinney sentenced Arizona Roll to 7 years in prison for possession of firearms with intent to supply. Roll was on bail awaiting trial for attempted murder of Javon Saunders in April of 2022. At the time of his arrest, Roll tried to evade the police officers in a high-speed chase before he was captured in the Westridge Estate community, where officers discovered and seized 5 firearms, including a revolver and 4 pistols, along with 11 rounds of ammunition. 2.4 pounds of marijuana was also found. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.